Hello and welcome back. This is part 2 of alt farming and why it's not as dead as everyone wants to claim it is. Today we're going to be looking at the first thing is unattended gameplay. Uh, as a general policy, any form of unattended gameplay is prohibited in Guild Wars 2. This includes auto-casting abilities to farm, use of a macro to automate character skills, use of a macro to farm repeatable events or activities for rewards while not at your computer or not actively playing the game, and the use of a third-party program to automate or create a bot that performs autonomous actions in the game. It does not mean that you may not be away from your computer while you are online. However, you should not perform actions, participate in content, or engage with the world while you are away from your computer. If you look for what actively playing is, we'll get to dual boxing first, because that also factors in. Playing multiple accounts is permitted, though only under specific circumstances. A player may own and operate several accounts, but they may only do so when they play and control each account independently. This means you must be attended at all times. Each account must be operated independently of another. Accounts may not be operated simultaneously using macros or bots. One keystroke should translate to one action on one account only. It means no setting up keybinds, using third-party tools to press the forward button and move forward on every account, or so on. And if you plan to run multiple clients, you may use more than one account at the same time. You may use more than one computer at the same time. You must be actively playing on each account, and we'll check what actively means, because we did click attended, and those are used interchangeably in these articles. You may not program your keyboard to perform functions on more than one account at a time. You may not use a macro to activate the skills of multiple characters on more than one account, and you may not use third-party botting tools to manage and play any number of characters. Multi-boxing may only be used in PvP arenas, with the exception of custom arenas. Attended. Any form of unattended gameplay is prohibited. We read all of this before. Note that every time you click a link that says anything about attended or actively playing goes to unattended gameplay. And the reason this matters is because we're doing our weekly farming with custom arenas. I started this up right before I started reading off of my TV, and you'll notice that we already have all but one of our dailies done. There's a specific reason for this. You'll notice we're currently working on 4 weeklies, and one of these will get finished real fast. It has no completion towards it. We're running everything with the same Guardian build. Virtues 111, Zeal 221, Radiance 222. It doesn't really matter, other than we have things that affect signets. And why that matters is because we have Signet of Courage, which heals. And you may be thinking, if you're not doing a whole lot, if your activity in actively playing a character is, say, jumping up and down or moving side to side, what does it matter? Well, it triggers when you're in downstate, and the game will auto downstate you, and you will most of the time get credit for kills and healing. Not always. It doesn't always work right, because you're sort of doing things in an unintended way. But as long as you are at your keyboard and not going AFK for long periods of time and actively playing, you can be checking the Black Lion Trading Company. You can be talking in your guild. You can be jumping up and down. You can be taking screenshots. You can be looking at glam. You can be looking at builds. Uh, is it a stupid and terrible system? Absolutely it is. Do you finish dailies in about 6 minutes of gameplay? You absolutely do. Can you finish weeklies in 45 minutes or so? You can. What happens when you get a weekly like this? This will auto finish, this will auto finish, this will auto finish, this will auto finish. 5 rewards will eventually auto finish, but you get something like win a game in Conquest after finishing the secondary map objective. That won't auto finish. However, uh, there are ways to do it. That one kind of sucks because if you tooltip over it, it'll say, oh, if you kill a forest monster in the forest of Niflhel, that won't work. If you capture the bell in Capricorn, that does work. If you get powers in the Jin's Dominion, that sometimes works. If you fire the cannon in Skyhammer, that will never work. If you defeat the enemy lord in Foe Fire, that sometimes work. If you capture an Orb of Ascension, that will sometimes work. If you complete a meditation in Temple of the Silent Storm, that will never work. And if you capture an artifact in the Eternal Colosseum, I believe that one works more often than not. What this means is, if you're actually playing as intended, sometimes you just can't finish your weekly because the game doesn't tell you that half of these secondary objectives are completely broken. They don't work. So you notice everyone got kill credit. Generally you get 2 kills because it doesn't count the character that will die at the same time you do. Every now and then it will. So you can watch your weekly credit. Well, we've played 3 games now. We've earned about 300 total points. We've killed 6 people. We've won 1 of those 2 games. And you continue doing this on between 4 and 6 accounts at a time, and you're done. What I want to do is see if we can pull up the custom browser for this game. I'm not sure if we can, so we'll do it on this account. How it's set up. Team size 3, time limit 2 minutes. If you take that down, it goes to giving you no credit. Starting players 2. If you tick down to 1, it gives you no credit. Reserve slots. If you add more than 2 reserve slots, it gives you no credit. Rounds. You can tick that up to 2 or 3. If you tick it up to 4, it gives you no credit. There are certain other settings that if you toggle them on, like no progression, it will not give you progression. If you put in tournament commands, it will not give you progression because it'll treat it as a tournament server. The weird thing is none of these maps seem to be able to give you credit normally. And if you first create an arena, then you pay the gold fee and you start it up. Selecting the deathmatch maps will give you no credit. If you wait 3 days, you'll get credit for it. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. It's kind of silly. Meanwhile, we're jumping around in game. We're opening a chest that was from one of our 5 reward tracks. If we go in here and accept the dailies, I can't show you my desktop because I'm streaming this off of my laptop, but we got 2 chests. That's 2 more rewards. That's 3 of 5 done. When this game is over, we can take a look at how you do map secondary objectives, which actually we won't, just because it's hard to capture everything. However, you go into a map with Legacy of Faux Fire, or sorry, Revenge of Capricorn. Uh, most of these will work. If it says it gives credit and it's not locked, it'll work. You join, you run each of your accounts to a capture point, they capture it, then you run to the cannon. Uh, the cannon will eventually capture, and from there, you get the credit. I usually do it either before or after I sit down for 20 minutes of actively inactive playing of Guild Wars. I think the way the rules are currently worded is absolutely stupid. I think there should be some way to say more than just unattended means actively playing, means not unattended, means uh, doing anything every so often. And I know it's probably hard for them to say that because, like, if you're standing around waiting for a meta to finish, then are you actively playing? If you're sitting around at Tangled Depths waiting for the wall to come down, does that count as active play unless you're going and opening chests? If you're waiting out a timer, does that count? Like, we're waiting out a timer here. Does it counts because I'm at the keyboard and I'm doing things and I'm jumping around in the game and I'm tabbing back and forth on my desktop. With my new mic, you can't hear all of my key presses, and that's a plus for everyone that's listening to this. But I don't know how you solve the issue. And I mean, they can't right now solve the issue of why do bots exist. Uh, Bots don't ruin the economy anywhere near as much as people think they do, but they have a bad optic. It doesn't look great when you have a whole bunch of AFK necromancers and engineers, but they're making less gold in a full day than you would if you go and do a meta or two, like in 20 minutes. So it's a weird gray area for this in particular. Botting, not so much a gray area under their rules. You actually can't do that under the rules. This you can. Um, I'm kind of interested to see if they will ever do anything about it and what that would be if they do, but I am not holding my breath. So that was just a quick how we do this. Be back with the next part, um, how much money we actually start making off of doing this once a week per account.